Hello, my name is Yamil Francisco, and I'm a document preparer in the state of Florida. I am not an attorney, and nothing in this video, our website, or social media should be considered legal advice. If you need legal advice, I highly encourage you to speak with an attorney in the state of Florida, particularly one familiar with family law. All right. So, with that said, I'm making this video because I get a lot of questions as to why child support must be calculated, why must it be in the paperwork, and in reality, it's the law. You can look it up on the internet. There's lots of resources that you can find. So I'm not going to go deep into that, but it is mandated by court. It is the law. So in this video, I am going to explain how child support is calculated and how is it possible to get zero child support, because it's possible, but it's not always the case. So first of all, let me explain child support. So child support is calculated, there's different levels of calculation. The first level is income, both parties' income. Out of that, there will be a percentage. Out of that percentage, there's a table of the income combined. And so one person may be, contributing 40%, and the other party, the mom may have 40% income, and then the dad may have 60% income, or vice versa. But based on that, that's the first number. The second layer is three different expenses. Number one, daycare or after school program for the children. Number two, who pays for medical insurance? For example, somebody's paying for the medical insurance through the employment. So that amount will be credited to that person making that expense, paying for that. And number three, out-of-pocket expenses for medical expenses, such as braces, such as, maybe chronic conditions that need medication every month, something like a stable amount, not like, oh, $10 here, $5 there. We're talking about an expense that is expected to be needing to cover every month. So whoever pays for those three expenses will get the credit of paying for those expenses and will get that deducted from the amount of responsibility that was already calculated based on income. So that's that. After that, we get an amount. The next level, if the non-residential parent gets more than 72 overnights a year, okay, then we come into an extended calculation. It's another calculation. Again, it uses all those things, but it gives more credit. It gives credit for the amount of overnights that the non-residential parent has. And why I'm not saying custody, because the court doesn't really use custody. The court assumes the same responsibility and the same rights to both parents. The mother doesn't have more power than the dad does. It's just, they're both equal. Okay? In the past, it was different. In the past, mother has all the rights. That's not the case. The case is both parents, the dad and the mom, have the same rights and responsibilities. So in order for those cases, when you hear, oh yeah, so and so doesn't pay child support, they don't have to pay child support. This is when that happens, or how can that happen? That happens, number one, that both incomes are similar. Okay, that's the first thing, that both incomes are similar. That both parents either share 50-50 the amounts of the daycare, the amounts of the after school, and the amount of medical insurance, or there's no medical insurance, maybe they're Medicaid, okay? And both parents have very similar or almost equal amount of overnights. What does that mean? When is that possible? Number one, the children have to live close to both parents. Okay, it's virtually almost impossible to get a 50-50 share on a parent that lives in a different county, like far away, where the children cannot go to school, and cannot continue their education and do not have the stability. Like if a parent lives far away or lives in a different state, it would be virtually almost impossible to be able to have 50% of overnights, because that's really what it is. When people say, oh, I just want shared custody, it's always shared custody. In the state of Florida, everything starts at shared custody. It's rare when the word custody is actually used, because again, the state of Florida considers both of you equally responsible and have the same rights to the children. Okay, so in order to get a zero child support, all things should be close to equal. or they should be balanced out in the end. So if even if one parent makes more income, but the children stay a little bit more time in their house, then or in the other parent house, then there would be, it's possible that it would be zero or so low that it could be ask the court not to even enforce it because maybe $10, $20 a month. But but that's a whole different process. But the bottom line is, if that's not there, the court is going, like, when I get calls telling me that, oh yeah, I don't know, no child support, we don't take those cases because, number one, our reputation as a company. Okay. Number two, it's just the law. We have to do that, and if we don't do that, yes, it's your problem. You guys would have to explain to the judge, how does no child support benefit the children, or how does a lower child support benefit the children. And that's something that I want everyone to understand, that the court, all they want is what's right for the children. Okay. So however you guys decide to move forward, that's the case. If the non-residential parent does not want child support on the paperwork, I always suggest my clients, you should consider just getting him served. Let the court deal with it. Let the court, figure it out. Let the court do the calculations. Let him or her explain why child support should not be given, or why child support should be lower, and how that benefits the children. Let them do that. I get so many clients that they want to push it in agreement because they know that we can help them waive the court hearing. But it would only work if child support is calculated by law. And if it's not possible because the other parent does not want to cooperate, or the other parent does not want on paper that they have to provide certain assistance every month, then I always suggest, don't try to push it. Just go through the motions, do it the typical way. The process, it is what it is. Get him served. After 20, the person will have 20 days to file their paperwork, and then you guys go to mediation. Let him or her explain their numbers, explain why they don't want to pay X amount of child support, and how that benefits the children. Let them do that. If that's what they want, let them do that. That's really the only way to move forward with a divorce with children, in a way that it's not more painful, more of an issue. Because the thing is that judges do not want to see you guys in court. They do not want to see you again in court over and over again. They don't want to hear disputes. If, for example, this is what's happened before, okay? If, for example, you agree, no child support on the paperwork, and because you trust that your ex, for some reason, you still trust them, and you feel that, oh no, they'll do the right thing, but then they fall in love, their new person wants to take a trip, and well, I'm short this month, I don't have enough money, they cut my, whatever excuse, but then you find out that they went to Portugal or Spain or something like that, and they're traveling, be living their best life. Meanwhile, you're short on money, and you have a child at home. Meanwhile, that other person is living their best life. You're going to want to go back to court and reopen the case and say, no, done. I'm done. I want the court to ask him. So what the court is trying to do is avoid that. They don't want to see you guys again in court. Okay? Or maybe you're the residential parent and you have a great job. You don't need their money. You're good. You're Gucci. But then you get laid off, or the company closes, or you get, God forbid, you get sick. You think that your non-residential parent is going to come and say, oh yeah, don't worry, I'm definitely going to pay the rent, I'll pay the car, I'll pay the insurance. No, they're not going to do that, because they already moved on. They already have another family. They already have other responsibilities. You're not going to be their priority. And I'm just being completely honest. So, if you have the children most of the time, it's only fair that the non-residential parent helps you out. And if you're the non-residential parent, I know you probably don't like me right now. And to be honest, that's okay. That's quite all right. Okay? I could be wrong in this, but it's the law. The bottom line is that it's the law. If you're a non-residential parent and you're trying to avoid child support, I'm sorry, but the law is not on your favor in that case. Anyway, this is all for now. That's what he brought me. That's my grandson, everybody. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions, my number is 800-474-1970. If you are looking for help with a divorce in Florida, get a quote on our website, divorceinfloridaonline.com, and click on get quote, and you'll get a quote emailed to you 24/7. All right, this is it. Thank you so much. Bye now.